Good morning, Derek. Free, free. I feel so free when I see my buddy named Free. He's so free. He makes me feel free. He's my buddy, Free. Then there's Derek Anderson. He's the kindest guy. Derek makes me wanna cry. He's Derek Anderson, everybody's best friend. Good morning. Good morning. There's a nerd in the house. And then Higgs went snap. Greenie, my guy. Good morning, Billy D and Jonathan K. All day. Saul never misses, neither does the Joe D stir. JC is as free as he can be. Paige, you're gonna do fine. They like court. They like ladies at court. Don't be a guy. Good luck, Paige. Ghastly. Everything about him is gruesome. Matty Matt. CCS. Laura, it's divine. Niffy and Shriner. Niff and Cleany. Cat Meowzilla. Third court day in a week. Paige, what are you up to? You're becoming a lawyer? Or you're on a grand jury? Or you're a kingpin? You're a drug lord? I'm not sure which it is. Which is it? Ghastly, good weekend. Back to growing again. Got our grows going. Everything's looking wonderful. Penny, who pulverized your internet? Glad it's working. Good morning. 2 more minutes to say good morning to each other. I want to play something for you guys. This is really good. Good morning. Happy to be here. I'm sincerely, truthfully, with everything truth, happy to be here. Joe. Normus. Normus. Herbie. Was thinking about you last week. Thanks for continuing to do a great job for us. Herbie. He continues to moderate with moderation. Thank you, Herbs. We appreciate. I do. At my end, I'm just like, I know Herbie's got that. Herbie's got that one. Someone's a pearl in the house. Somebody opened an oyster. Who opened the oyster in Denver? It was everything it needed to be, Shine. Making that into the world happen. Pops is learning. Higgs, doesn't he do a good job? We actually, it's such a background thing, you don't even realize it, but it's being done. And last week we were at one point like 120 some people here. Usually when it gets like that, we have some trolley type people. Which you have to understand, if they're trolling, there's a reason. They might be lonely. I tend to want to kick them off the train. Herbie says, sit down, take a break, and we'll decide if we're going to keep you on the train or not. Good morning. Okay. Thank you, Shine. We got to all keep it up. All right, here we go. I want to play something for you guys this morning. Great. Be quiet on the music, Pops. Who's that? That's MVP. Mike, what are you doing on my screen? That's that's Kim's man. Hey, Mike, what are you doing on my screen? Okay, you guys ready? Sit down and have a juice box, right, Herbs? All right. This one's like meditationally important. Will you guys please listen to it? Okay, this isn't funny fun. Well, it's fun, but this is gonna make us think. Think, cogitate, meditate, ruminate, and do a lot of other eights. Okay? Listen to this guy right here. Well, not just him. Wait. Where's the sound, you guys?
He said, I want you to always link your confidence to your intentions, not your abilities.
Okay.
Be chasing that tail all your life, Ed. So if he goes, there's a correct, and he was writing a book. He said, I want you to always link your confidence to your intentions, not your abilities. Because you'll be chasing that tail all your life, Ed. So
Confidence.
He goes, there's a correct, and he was writing a book at the time called The Power of Intention, but I didn't know that.
Intention.
When I look for confidence, like before this interview or that speech I just gave, or for anybody listening, going into a sales call or a meeting or a first date, your confidence isn't your beauty or your ability, it's your intent. And so that's one thing I know to be true about me. I don't always believe in my ability or my talent. That's fleeting. Or what happens when a speech goes bad or a meeting goes bad or a company goes bad? I don't want to predicate my confidence on that. I predicate it on my intention because I actually believe I'm a good person. And I don't think enough people give themselves credit for being good and kind and that they give people grace and they want to contribute and help. You should generate so much confidence from that intent to serve that you ought to walk into a room and own it, not because you're arrogant or you're amazing, but because your intentions are so good. So this is a shell of confidence, a hack to confidence nobody talks about is intention.
One more time. It's short enough. Own this.
He said, I want you to always link your confidence.
It's about who you are inside.
Your abilities. Because you'll be chasing that tail all your life, Ed.
What you're planning to do for others.
He was writing a book at the time called The Power of Intention, but I didn't know that. When I look for confidence, like before this interview or that speech I just gave, or for anybody listening, going into a sales call or a meeting or a first date, your confidence isn't your beauty or your ability, it's your intent. And so that's one thing I know to be true about me. I don't always believe in my ability or my talent. That's fleeting. Or what happens when a speech goes bad or a meeting goes bad or a company goes bad? I don't want to predicate my confidence on that. I predicate it on my intention because I actually believe I'm a good person. And I don't think enough people give themselves credit for being good and kind and that they give people grace and they want to contribute and help. You should generate so much confidence from that intent to serve that you want to walk into a room and own it, not because you're arrogant or you're amazing, but because your intentions are so good. So this is a shell of confidence, a hack to confidence nobody talks about is intention.
Give me 5 attaboys on that one. Give me 5 people. Give me 5 people that are like, yep, makes sense to me. The key in that is our intent to serve. And if we know it, we know who we are. And see, part of the problem here becomes, am I a good person? We've been told all our lives, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Well, what about the road to goodness? What about that road? How did it get paved? How did the road to kindness get paved? It had to have some intention, didn't it? Some of those old sayings are really disastrous. You walk into a room because you know you're walking into the room to be a kind, good human being. What difference does the rest make? Whatever happens, however the speech goes, however the company does, you're there for intent. And it's with your intent that you'll grow. We'll do some more talking later. Gosh, I have the neatest thing I've ever seen. What the heck's going on? I need an engineering degree. I'm more of the humanities. I learn more history and anthropology, etymology, ologies. The engineers and physics people and chemists and scientists, I admire you people because you guys are like, you work with the different part of your brain, right? Exception. What the heck is this? I'm like freaking out. Sarah, I get a package this weekend from our friend here, Sarah. Sarah hasn't been here that long, and I think that Sarah picked up on something that I had said last week about having, I think, forgot or lost my favorite tripod that I use for broadcasting over at the vacation house the one evening that I was there. I couldn't find it anywhere. Anyways, so it's poof gone. I got a better poof that came in the mail. Give me 5 people that want to see the new poof. Give me 5 people that want to see the new poof in the mail from Sarah. And I also need 10 more likes. We're at 28 likes. I'm going to bribe 10 likes out of you. It's not asking for much. 77 people here, 28 likes. Okay, give me another 5. No, give me another 10 likes. And we've got 5 want to see the poof. We've already got a 5 poof agreement here. I'm still looking for, come on with the likes. Lazy thumbs unite and stand up for your right to like. What? I need 3, no. Okay, you did it. You did it. You broke the, we're at 38. Poof. You think, oh, okay, it's just a tripod. Kind of cool. I went to open it up. First thing that came out, look how thick it is. This isn't one of those like you fold it open, you read the instruction, kind of like a bubblegum. Remember the bubblegum comics? Joe Bazooka? Where'd that come from? Do you remember bubblegum? You'd open the bubblegum wrapper and there was one comic book or comic wrapped around the bubblegum. You'd open it up, you read Joe Bazooka. Little, give me a couple of Joe Bazookas. Does anybody remember? What was the bubblegum? Gas leak. It was so terrible for us. Do you guys remember? Snoozer, good morning. Nerdy remembers bazooka gum. It was all flat and pink as possible. Do you remember that? Bazooka Joe was. You remember? I don't know where Bazooka Joe came from, but think about it. My dad would give my brother and myself, this is no lie, he would give us a quarter. Here's a quarter for you, son, and here's a quarter for you, big brother. And you guys are supposed to walk down to the store or the corner. It was maybe a quarter of a mile, a little strip mall. On the corner of the strip mall is the barber pole, right? And what was his name? Helmut. He was a German guy. Helmut. No, he wasn't Floyd. He was Helmut. 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 The barber, way at your hair. You got a boy's cut. You could either get a flat top or a boy's cut. Those were your 2 options. Okay, I don't know if you guys remember. Helmut, it was a quarter for a haircut, and he would reach inside of his jar and give you 1 Bazooka Joe gum. So we'd walk out with our hair buzzed off for summer. Do you remember, like, finally got a boy's cut where you could actually lay something over? Come on, help me out here. Does anybody remember the boys' cuts? Do you remember a flat top? Okay, the gum was the worst, but it was so good. Shine, you got to remember the boys' cut. You got to go back probably into the 70s, 60s, 70s to be in there with me. Okay, but it was called, there was a crew cut, flat top, but then the boys' cut, you got a little layover. Okay, you got a little bit of you can get your comb out. There was nothing there but boys' cut. Okay. That's when you had a comb in your back pocket. How many kids grew up? How many men, boys? How many of us had combs? I grew up with a comb in my back pocket. It was part of your deal. You'd put your watch on. You put your comb in your back pocket. Who didn't? Who had a comb? Come on. We're gonna get back to the thing, but I'm on a side. You know what I do? Who had a comb? Okay, come on. Sean's got a pops. I still have mine. Oh, badgy too. No. Oh, I get the badge. I get it for our beards now, for sure. But I don't even comb. I just toss and done. I remember a comb. You would die when you lose your comb. Don't you guys remember this stuff? Okay. And a pocket knife. You'd have a pocket knife. Boom, pocket knife. Later on, Zippo. It's like you had a lighter. You had to have a lighter. And, you usually got it. Back then, Zippo. If you didn't have a Zippo, you were Zippo, baby. Okay? This is a man's must-haves. Okay? You guys don't remember Zippo. There was always at every one of the good stores, there was a thing on the counter rolling around. It was like watches. It was like watches, but they were Zippos in there. Okay? Don't you remember? And you just watch them going, like, God, I wish I could get that gold one someday. That'd be the coolest one. Just watching the Zippo lighters. You gotta watch the Zippo lighters go around in a circle, Woz. Some of you guys still use my Zippo. Hey, Zippos were it. It was like the Rolex. If you had a Zippo, you like pull it out. Androdized clay. You know how you can flip the top on the thing? And then Bic comes along and ruined everything. Bic comes along, you'd have the throwaways. And they were so convenient, they ruined the game. Thanks, Bic. Bic. Somebody has to look that one up. Yeah, Holly, baby, you don't need a light, sweetheart. You can't light a lady's cigarette with a Bic. You had to use a Zippo. Okay. All right. We're off on a tangent. We're talking about stuff that's crazy. But if you guys were there, you would understand. And if not, like Pony said, you got to go back and watch those movies, Stand By Me or something like that. Okay? Flick your Bic. Penny, they did that. I was like, wait a minute. What are you talking about? Flick my what? Funny stuff. Funny. Let me grab a napkin. Oh my gosh. Why do I laugh at the old days? Woz, help me out. Why is the old days... Oh, Evil, that was a good movie. Why are the old days so funny? Huh? Jeez. I had tears in my eyes. I'm cracking myself up, but then I think the Woz, if he was in the same room with me, you guys wouldn't stand a chance. Okay? Who ever thought of their lighter before in a while? We haven't thought of our lighters, how important a Zippo was in our pocket. Right? Because it was funny. Let's look at this thing. It takes a manual. It takes a whole manual just to learn how to use a tripod. What? So I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Look at this thing. Is it a tripod or is it a microscope for my laboratory? What the heck is this thing? What is that? What the? Remote control? Um, what? Never seen anything like this, Sarah. I'm confused and I don't want to mess it up, so I'm freaking out. It's literally, I think this was supposed to go to the dentist. I think it was supposed to go to a dentist. This looks much more like a dental tool than something that the T crew would be using. Okay? This looks, yeah. You know what I'm talking about? I feel like a dentist is going to be, perhaps this is found on the space station. Maybe this is used to hold your Zippos. Okay? That was a good one. Stands, extensions. This thing's getting crazy, I'm telling you right now. Yeah, Penny, it's a holder phoner thing. Back in the old days, we called it a holder phoner. Now, what's it called? It's called an XE. It's called an XE 3-axis smartphone stabilizer with a magnetic fill light. I'm going to study it. Kim, it's an X-ray machine. It's called a gimbal. You're right, buyer boys. 3-axis smartphone gimbal. Well, gimbal me this. This thing's really cool, Sarah. I opened this up and I went, whoop, I have to show the kids. I have got to show the kids that I have the coolest phone holder phone / gimbal you've ever seen. And I'll figure out how to use it today. It looks great. Thank you. From the bottom of our smartphone, I thank you. a couple of, I think looks futuristic. It's a little intimidating, but we're going to get over it because we're going to do our best. We don't get intimidated easily anymore. I mean, they try, but they're not getting us. Does being in the military increase your likelihood of suicide? Military, or does it increase your likelihood of suicide? We have a lot of yeses. We have a few absolutelys. We have some think-sos. I think mythically we've been told that. The military is made up of a male-heavy demographic, which is already more susceptible to suicide. If you take some control factors like age, sex, and race, the military actually has a lower suicide rate than the rest of the country. Mytho busto. What percentage of Americans? What percentage? I mean, we hear about it a lot more, I think. They're highlighted on it for a good reason, because I think that's, had agreed to put their lives on the line. But the actuarial tables may not say that. Okay? What percent passport? How many people, what percentage? Most people think it's about 10%. 10%. The actual number is 37%. 37% of Americans have a passport. Penny, I didn't know that. That's a lot. That's a lot. How fast can crocodiles run on land? You get a crocodile out of the water. It's chasing. It's chasing you. How fast do you have to go? 30 miles an hour, Mike says. That's horses go 25. How fast do you have to go? Whiskey, if you're going 13 miles an hour, you're doing good. You're about 3 miles an hour faster than the crocodile. Crocodile easily gets up to 10 miles an hour. 10 miles per hour. He's coming at you. 10 miles an hour. That's pretty fast. Stubby little legs like that. That's fast. Everyone knows this. Everyone knows this. It's a weird little factoid, right? That penguins, if they look up to like see an airplane or a cloud or something like that, they look up, they tip over. Whoa! Right? Everyone knows that to be true. Penguins tip over when they look up towards planes flying. It's not true at all. No, they have no problem looking up and then looking back down. I'm just saying, they can do it. Stop telling them they can't. Okay? Who made that one up? Like Cartoon City? How about this one? The center of our planet. How about the center of our planet? Molten, just crazy molten center, right? First of all, I want to know who thinks they know the real answer. How can you? Are you serious? You can make one up and we all have to believe it. Okay? Well, how would we know? Seriously. What's ever gotten to the center and maybe popped all the way through to China? How would we know? The center of the planet is molten mytho. The center of the planet is actually an extremely dense sphere of iron and nickel. Once again, I'd really like to know who knows there's nickel down there. Sound waves? You think we're shooting sound waves all the way to our center? How do we know that the sound wave stopped at the center? It didn't go through to another part. Molten iron and nickel. How do we know? Kim, how do you know? What's the hottest planet? What's the hottest planet? Ask Liam, he's new. Magical lake of hot dog water in the center. I just don't understand how they think they know. These are the things that freak me out at night. Hottest planet. Oh, you guys are smart. Oh, look at all of my smart friends. Look at the smarty pantses in the house. The Antonio Gamachos and the Liams and the E. Normuses. And D. Anderson, that would be a star. And Corey's got, come on, Pops, it's Venus. Everybody thought it was Mercury back in the day. Mercury is the hottest planet. Not so fast. The Venetians know better. Even though Mercury is the closest planet to the sun, Venus is the hottest planet. What? Well, why didn't it get named Mercury? Venus is the hottest. Oh, Venus. Lady. Passionate. No, I don't know where I'm going. Hold on. Venus is the hottest planet. It has an average surface temperature of 864 degrees Fahrenheit. 864. That's like 9 times hotter than here. 9 times? Yeah. That's a lot. Wow. Whiskey's that's all? I thought it was torching. That's pretty hot. Roasted chicken. It's definitely healthier than fried chicken, right? If you roast a chicken, that's going to definitely be, right? Am I right? Everyone knows that. Fried chicken, oh, you got to watch out. You want a roasted chicken, a little healthier. Am I right? Cobalt's, no pops. Just one chicken leg from a roasted chicken contains the same amount of fat as a scoop of ice cream. Roasted chicken is about 3% more healthy than a fried chicken. 3%. It has about 3% less fat than the fried chicken. Okay. Wait for this one. Oh, no. Do you guys want a couple more of these? Say, Pops, fly a couple more at us. Couple more. What is this, Anna Ruth? Who are you reporting? Report away. Give me a couple. Salad Finger says, Pops, tell us just a couple more. These aren't, usually we do rando facto. These are anti-facto. These are like, we think they're true or we've heard them somewhere, but maybe upon further consideration, we figure them out. How about carrot cake is healthy? Of course. Carrot cake all day, every day. Carrot cake? Give me a slice. I'd like 2, please. I don't need the cream cheese frosting that much. It could just be a light coating. Doesn't have to be thick like, they try to put it on like, inch thick. Take that part off a little bit. Leave a little on. Carrot cake. Just one slice of carrot cake has 560 calories. That's the same as eating 14 pieces of bacon. What? I can never eat carrot cake again without tasting bacon. What are we talking about? What? No. What? I'm sticking with 3 pieces of bacon and an egg. If a carrot cake's costing me that much, my missus going 14 pieces is nothing, Pops. All right, try 28 pieces. That's 2 slices of carrot cake. Okay? Carrot cake with bacon on the side. No, bacon for breakfast and a carrot cake dessert. Wow. Carrot cake. You're disappointed. I love carrot cake. Another one, again, I got a little bit of a problem with this. How do they know my slice is 560 calories, but Penny, when she makes it, it's 560 calories too? Aren't the ingredients going to be a little different? Do I put a little more frosting on? Did I sprinkle a little more brown sugar in mine? How many walnuts did you use, Penny? You know what I'm talking about? Where do they come up with this 560? Some rando average across the United States? I bet you could find a carrot cake that's got about 500 calories. And I bet you could find another one that's got about 650. Okay? So why do we have to buy this 560 calories? How do you know? How many carrot cakes did they test? See, these are the kind of things that even when you're busting a myth, I think we need to be a little bit accurate. Okay? Don't tell me carrot cake isn't healthy. I might find one with a 400 calories, therefore it's only going to be worth about 11 and a half pieces of bacon. See what I'm saying? Soy sauce is good for you at least. At least soy sauce is good for us. 1 tablespoon of soy sauce contains 38% of your daily recommended intake of salt. 1. It's pure sodium, cobalt. You might as well get salt out, put a little brown liquid on top of it, and hand it to someone and say, there's soy sauce. I freaking love soy sauce. I love it. Cats always land on their feet. Cat lovers know that. Cats always land on their feet. I hate to tell you. They take just a little while to get adjusted as they're falling through the air. If you drop them too close to the ground, they won't land on their feet. Basic. One more. You guys want me to do one more? Here it is. This one, you guys got to hear about this one. Inbreeding. We're not supposed to marry your cousin, or I think even like down to second cousin and stuff now. Am I right? You're not supposed to, the whole inbreeding. Woo, look out for inbreeders. Co-breeding, inbreeding. The whole, well, who did that? The royalty back in the European royalty, all inbred and everything. They all ended up with anemias and all of the different handed down generation to generation, hemophiliacs and all of that business, right? Inbreeding between cousins creates a genetically mutated baby. After recent studies, scientists now argue that inbreeding between cousins only increases the risk of birth defects by about 2%, which is the same risk as a woman who has a child at the age of 41. I think part of that might have a lot to do with advances in medicine and stuff like that, too. You know what I mean? I don't think they could have said that 100, 200 years ago. But supposedly that's the story now. Okay. One more. Oh, this one's great. I've never heard this one before in my whole life. Never. You guys have never heard this one before. This is going to be bad because I know you guys, I have a bunch of, we have conspiracy theorists here. A bunch of people here that think that, the moon landing never happened in 1969. That was all made up in some movie studio somewhere. Even though they've gone back and figured it would take over 40,000 people to be in on the conspiracy to make it actually have happened. It would have taken at least 40,000 of you that never told the truth. You're still holding on to the secret. Okay, so that's the old conspiracy theory. I'm not going to get into it because I personally think it's silly to think it didn't happen, but I also understand that these are the kind of things that turn into arguments like politics and religion. So forget about it. But there is something interesting I never heard of before. There is something interesting we've never heard of. We think that there's an American flag on the moon. I mean, come on. Didn't Neil Armstrong plant it? Boop. We see it in a lot of the pictures and everything, right? According to Buzz Aldrin, one of the astronauts who was on the moon, he and Neil Armstrong accidentally placed the original American flag too close to their spacecraft. And when they took off, the flag was blown away. What? Whoops, there goes, looking out the porthole. Like, there goes, Buzz, did you see what I just saw? Oh no. Mission Control, we have a problem. I've never heard that one before. Buzz Aldrin said, yep. Well, we did a good job of planting it and taking pictures of it. But no, you won't see it. It's like, what the heck? Of all the flags, Bill, of all the flags you don't want blowing away, that one might be one of them. That's like blowing the flag away on Mount Suribachi. That's like planting a flag in West Texas. What the heck is that all about? There's no American flag on the moon anymore. It was, till they took off. I've never heard that one before, okay? Who's heard that one before? No one here. Never, excuse me, that's funny stuff. I don't care what anybody else says, okay? I never heard that one before. And if Buzz said it happened, I'm going to go with it. I'm going with it. I don't think he has a reason to tell us they messed up if they didn't. That would be kind of dumb of him. We'll get into a fermentation of fungi again tomorrow. I've got a whole bunch to cover. We did a lot of methofacto here today. We're not going to stay super late today, so I'm going to start our reading a little bit early. I'm going to still do one small giveaway at the end of the show here today. But this week we're going to do, honestly, not focus a lot on giveaways, just to give a dip in the expectation factor. It's been getting a little bit, the feedback that's coming to me from outside of tea about, I don't know, people complaining, and you gave it to Joe, and you should have given it to Shirley, and let's just take a minute and remember why we're here, and that everything else is bonus chickens. The real reason that I'm here is because I need you guys. I need the regularity of a program. I love to share and laugh in my morning. The first thing we can possibly do to me is I want to do is laugh. Dance a little bit, I do. I really do. I'm 66 years old and I dance in the mornings. There's usually a music on in the background, and I do a little, not every morning, but often, a little jiggly wiggly do. And then spend about an hour preparing for what we're going to do for the next hour. And I get my reading in, and I get my, that's why if you guys notice, I have this reading streak that's like 140, 130, 140 days straight. Last time I didn't read, I was so sick I couldn't even open my eyes. So I lost my reading streak. But a big part of my reading streak is every morning getting an opportunity to read something, grok it for myself, and then regurgitate it in a way that helps me practice. And that's what you guys are. You guys are my workout buddies. I look forward to our gym every morning. So love doesn't judge. I'm going to read this one. It's about 2 pages long. It's really interesting. Okay. How to be loved. Duh. Thank you guys all too. Don't we have a great time here? We laugh and we love and we learn and then we practice. Okay, this one's going to be really interesting because this is written by a guy called Humble the Poet. That's the name he uses when he writes. He also wrote a book called Unlearn, which we're getting into. I'm on page 32 if anybody happens to be reading along, but I didn't expect this. I didn't expect this, but I probably should have. Our author would easily fit into the T crew. I'm going to read I'm just going to read directly out of the book. Are you ready? See how he fits in. Love doesn't judge. I participated in a psilocybin mushroom ceremony, and it was intense. That's the author. I had already thrown up everything inside of me, and although I had volunteered to host the ceremony at my home, now in my distraught state, I wanted everybody out. Who the fuck are these people, and why are they in my space? Quickly, a calm voice of reason kicked in. You don't want everyone out. You don't hate them, they're your friends. You're just feeling bad because you took too much medicine. You've been here before, and you're going to have to ride it out. Sound anywhere familiar to anybody? And so I did, away from everyone else, with our guide checking in on me every so often. I spent the better part of 3 hours pacing back and forth in the back room of my apartment, too overwhelmed to stop, unable to close my eyes and see all that there was to experience. My mind was a roller coaster of thoughts and emotions. There was a voice in my head telling me I was doing this wrong and I should be with the group, meditating and reflecting on my intentions, instead of feeling like I was Keanu Reeves and I'd explode if I slowed down to less than 50 miles per hour. You're doing this wrong. You're ruining everyone else's experience. You didn't do enough prep. You're just thinking in circles. People are laughing in the other room. Why are you in here freaking out? Why are you so weak? Then my calm voice would chime in. You're thinking this stuff because you took too much medicine. Don't believe what you think, but pay attention to why you're thinking it. I'm going to say that again, what his calm voice said. Don't believe what you think. Pay attention to why you're thinking it. I was being both hyper-judgmental and hyper-insecure at the same time. Here's the key. Here's the key. Hyper-judgmental, hyper-insecure. And it doesn't even need to be hyper. You could be just a little judgmental. And you're going to find out how much of it came from insecurity. Even after our guide came in to check on me a few times and told me I was perfectly fine to have the experience the way I was, his reassurances wasn't enough. The fact that I was in my own home wasn't enough. The thoughts of judgment and insecurity kept coming. And I was realizing why. I needed to see the relationship between the two. The relationship between insecurity and judgment. This is what he found in this experience. And the relationship between judgment and insecurity, you don't have judgment without it, without insecurity. And then you're going to watch judgment creates insecurity. It's a complete deadly cycle. When we judge others, it's less about who they are and more of a reflection of who you are. Small example. Back in the recovery program I was involved in, there was a very, at the time we used this all the time back and forth to each other. You're getting ready to say something gentle about somebody. You're getting ready to criticize something about somebody. Not give them advice, but criticize. What happens is, if you spot it, you got it. You can't see something in someone else that you don't have a smidgen, if not a huge chunk of yourself. Otherwise, you couldn't even have an awareness to it. If you're a liar and you just lie a lot, you think everybody's lying. The first thing, I think he's lying. And they have to work their way through that idea. You have to work, maybe he is telling the truth after all. But if you spot it, you got it. And there is no other way. Now, we can reprogram. We've already figured that out, and we'll do that. We can reprogram a lot of the spotted crap out. But it's because you're living in the insecurity of having it in the first place. The judgments we place on others are often the same judgments we put on ourselves. There's nothing harsher we can say to others than the things we say to ourselves. And noticing the relationship between judgments and our insecurities is the first step to addressing both. Our best selves exist when our insecurities aren't present. Because we can listen to this. When our insecurities aren't present, they might be laying back here in some dormant state and you haven't programmed it out completely, but you're not exercising it. Your best self is present when your insecurities aren't. Why? Because your time and space and efforts are being taken up with something other than what the insecurity would have been holding you back. You get to fill up all that other time and space and effort with something not insecure. Maybe even something enjoyable. Maybe even something productive. Maybe even something serving humanity. Our best selves exist when our insecurities aren't present, because we can accomplish so much more when we're not busy judging ourselves. That layer of insecurity and judgment isolates us from others. Isolators! Isolators International! Insecurities are getting us there. Judgments of ourselves. They wouldn't like me out there anyway, so this is better to be hiding in the dark and not look. The thin layer of insecurity and judgment isolates us from others. And it can be a bulletproof glass, stopping the flow of love into our lives. Boom. You can love me all you want, but I can't get it. It's bouncing off of the bulletproof glass in front of me. That's formed by my insecurities and my judgments. How depressing. We also have to realize that although we may think we're protecting ourselves, we're really imprisoning our true selves with these layers of insecurities and judgments. We still end up feeling embarrassed and that we're not enough. These extra layers of insecurity also make us feel more alone. I'm almost done. Is this good? I have another 2 paragraphs. Is this working? How do other people see us? That's an important question to ask. Most of the people in our lives see us from angles that we don't even see. You don't even see how they see you. There are different angles all over the place. Sure, they may not know our deepest, darkest secrets and flaws, but we don't know theirs either. And we still love and accept them despite that. You think they don't still love and accept you despite yours? We can all improve and strive for more, but that doesn't mean we can't feel good about who we are right now. We started it with that talk this morning. You walk into the room, you can feel good about who you are because your intentions of walking into that room, I'm not coming in this room to rip anybody off. Let's figure out how I can snake oil Sam someone. I'm not coming in this room to judge anyone. I'm not coming in this room to cause anxiety. I'm not coming in this room to develop someone's depression. I don't want to have anybody have PTSD as a result of me being here. I'm coming into this room to bring as much love and joy and kindness as I can practice. That's why. That's why I'm here. And if I walk into a room with that mindset and that intention, where's room for judgment? Where's room for me being insecure for even walking in? I could walk in with Speedos on. Oh, look at him with the Speedo. By the time I'm through 15, 20 minutes milling around with good intention, nobody's even paying attention to my Speedos. If they are, that's their judgment. That's their, who cares? How you look, what you're wearing, what you drove up in. Tell me how much that matters. The more we focus on loving others without judging them, the easier it is to love ourselves the same way. A lot of us, there's exercise. Oh, I can tell you 5 nice things about you right now. Boom, 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 boom. Now do it about myself. Well, we don't even compliment ourselves. You could compliment someone else all day long. They tell you a compliment. Oh, not really. Well, you don't mean that about me. I don't deserve that compliment. Give yourself a compliment. This time you spent judging, you could have spent complimenting. We don't do that. We weren't programmed that way. We were programmed, you better be self-critical, and the more you find out about you, why don't you just celebrate yourself? That's one of the things you said here a long time ago, the weirdos. At first I'm like, don't call me a weirdo. Call me anything you want. Just call me. Just call me. I didn't know what that meant a long time ago. I was like, what's that mean? And now I know. We just call each other. The more we realize that our judgment of others relates to a judgment of ourselves, the more we can start breaking the pattern. The more we can start breaking the pattern. Badge, doesn't it? It feels really weird. We weren't programmed that way, son. We weren't. We're so super hypercritical of ourselves. And I could tell you 10 things that are wonderful about you, Badgie. Wonderful. You're such a great guy to be around, and you come around sometimes like you're not sure if you're supposed to. Jesus, you could be the life of the whole party. Nobody ever told you that. Who cares if you have a Rudolph zit on your nose? You've seen the other people with a zit on their nose and you accepted them. Did you kick them out of the party because they had a zit on their nose? truth, Badge. I mean it. We have to realize that we build walls around ourselves with these judgments and insecurities, and those walls are made of brick and mortar. Those are harder to tear down than we think. I tend to do, you know what I do now? I don't even tear it down. I climb over it and I leave it. I don't have time to break anything down. I'm old. I'm climbing over those old barriers, leaving them behind. They're just become like old relics. They're going to look like, they're going to be ivy covered and wind blown down sooner or later. I don't care. Climb over them. Jump into your next experience. That's what I do. Our journey of self-love is to work to judge others less and reduce how much we judge ourselves. Can I say that one more time? Our journey of self-love. Gosh, this makes me want to cry. I'm not kidding you. This just hit me. Our journey of self-love is to work. We're on a journey to love ourselves more, learning how. We weren't programmed this. We were told the opposite. Earn it. Not that you already have it. Our journey of self-love is to work to judge others less. Work to judge others less. Work. Practice. It's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to wake up tomorrow. I don't judge anybody. I'm perfectly judge-free now. No, you're not. But you'll be less today if you're working at it. You'll be less judgmental today if you're working at it. You'll have less insecurities today if you're not judging as much. Working at it. And then you reduce how much you judge yourself. Will be more fun to be around. Who agrees with that one? Who's more fun to be around? Mr. Non-judgmental, non-anxious, non-depressed, or the guy that's over in the corner grumbling about everything? And then it's I know those guys. I know that guy. I don't invite him to my party. I don't. He could live down the street somewhere, and when he figures it out, we know those guys. Whiskey, that might have been you, sure not the you I know. And it's not the you, that's not the person we know together. I'm married to that guy. Stop it. You know what I'm talking about. It will be more fun to be around. You want to be more fun to be around? You know who's fun to be around? Let me tell you someone who's fun to be around. Derek Anderson. Derek Anderson just stands around with this big smile on his face, and he's kind to everybody that comes up to him. He has nothing but kind words to say. You could just watch him, and you're just thinking, I think that guy doesn't even know what, I don't know if he knows how to be bad. He just radiates a goodness. I mean that. He's been practicing for years, but practicing on himself physically recently. Going through a major metamorphosis. Because he's learning to love himself more than he's ever loved himself before. Loved himself enough to get on a plane and figure out how to get to a group that would hug him and love him. And boy, do we. And boy, do we. And you think he wasn't filled with a little anxiety? You think he didn't look in the mirror and say, are they going to think I'm a goofball? You think all of that didn't happen? And he practiced through it to end up here. Am I right, Waz? You know exactly what I'm talking about. You met this man. He practiced his way through it to be here and be an absolutely integral part of what we were doing. That was practice. He did a lot of sets that weekend. More fun to be around. There's a fun guy to be around. His name's Awaz. We'll make more progress towards the life we want to live and the loves that we want to experience. His final paragraph, this is back to the author and me not yelling at you guys. I yell because I get louder and strident because I want, oh God, I just want us to coach ourselves up. Coaches get loud. I think if you're just a soft-speaking like this guy, you told the whole story like this, I don't know if it would work as much. So I get loud. Back to the author. I want to thank the medicine for putting me in that unfamiliar and uncomfortable place to better understand myself and what I need to face. The medicine didn't make me judgmental and insecure. It helped to reveal the things that existed in the deepest parts of me. We can't heal what we don't reveal. And for that, I am grateful to the medicine for bringing my deepest and darkest parts up into the light. We judge because we're insecure. And we're insecure because we judge. Good book. Good book. How to Be Love by Humble the Poet. And we're just going to work our way through that over the course of this month and practice. We'll be practicing. Okay? Let's do a quick giveaway. I didn't have much prepared today. This is something that somebody didn't pick up last week. It's a nice fruit, 2 grams plus of Ghost, and a 10-pack from Hague's. Let me send this to somebody. Who's going to get it? The first person to give you a number between 1 and 50 that's in my chute. The first person. We're going to give away a little something each day, and then Friday we'll get better. Okay? Between 1 and 50. Between HB already got it. Done. HB. Wow, Crystal, a bunch of you are doing 22s. HB said 22. HB. 22. HB. I need your address sent to the DetroitMushLab.net. That's a website. You'll scroll to the bottom. You'll hit the little thing to contact me, and you'll send me your address. And we'll put this in a little package and send it out to you today. Congratulations, HB. This week, like I said, just gonna slightly different. We're not gonna make it as much about giveaways as takeaways this week. And we're gonna see what happens. And when I say takeaways, I want you guys to take a lot away from here. Rather than material things, we're gonna take away spiritual things this week. Good deal? You're welcome, HB. Thank everybody that was here today. What a wonderful day we've had today. Laugh this morning, and then had a really good chance to talk about judgments and insecurities and practicing. Gosh darn it, I'm practicing right now. I'm not very insecure, you guys. Who thinks Pops is insecure? Oh, wait a minute. It's practice, because it's real easy to be the other guy, right? It's easy to hide. It's easy to isolate. Oh, it's easy to not come out. You should see my old curtains. Oh boy, am I glad we're healing over here. Okay? Loss. I want you guys to be in love with each other, be in love with yourself. As hard as that is, you can do it. Practice. Go have a great day. I love you guys, and I'll see you here tomorrow. Same much time, same much channel. Nerdy and Cobalt and Solly and Antonio Camacho. I love saying that. I don't know why. Antonio, do I say it good? Do I get out or am I out of control? Sarah, thank you. What a great gift. We're going to figure it out. Cobalt and Saul and Shrooms and Nerdy and Niff and Binksy. Hi, Binksy. And salad fingers and eggs? No way. Sarah and S. Namaste and Badgie and the Waz. I love my Waz. Michael and Serms and E. Normus and Joe Dees and Terry McKinsky. Yeah, Joe, I hide it well. Lil Roy and T. Anderson, Nipper and Fungi Farms and Aramil and Main and Sarah Wees in the juice. Vegas, there's my girl. Binksy, Jolie, I love that girl. Matt, married Michael, Cobalt, Billy T, and Antonio Camacho, enormous, Mr. Marmars, Herbs and Saturn, and Mr. Phillips, and Badgie all day, Crystal Watson, Higgs, I love you, kid, Lucky, Antonio Camacho. Sorry, Antonio. I love you, man. Pilar. Okay, Cleany. Jesus Christ, Cat Meowzilla. Nerdy EMT Nipper. Kimberly. Salad Vegas. Laura. You too, Vig. Laura, have a divine day. Satterwolf.
We got a Kitana de what?
We got a Kitana Camacho. Rosetta, there you are. Joe T's, Holly M, T. Anderson, Fungi Farms, Holly M, Melissa G. G, Melissa, you're wonderful. Pops, peace, love. See you guys here tomorrow. Antonio Camacho. Have a great day. Love you guys.